evading his last statement because, truthfully, she couldn't go there. Not yet. Okay, fine. Go ahead and eat it, you big dummy. But if you get salmonella, don't come crying to me.
I won't, he assured her with a wink. I'll go crying to Becky. She makes one hell of a nurse.
He patted the blue spica cast that held his newly reconstructed shoulder immobile, grinning like a loon. She knew that particular head-in-the-clouds smile was because Becky Reichert, the hotshot motorcycle designer who provided the cover for Frank and all the guys over at Black Knights, Inc., had agreed to become his wife. It'd be a marriage made in motorcycle designer/secret agent heaven, no doubt. Here comes the bride, all dressed in studded black leather. Shaking her head, she tried to envision that particular wedding ceremony and failed miserably.
Uncle Frank! Uncle Frank!
Franklin raced into the kitchen from the living room, clutching the blue construction paper upon which he'd glued colorful, crazily shaped tissue paper fish. Her heart warmed at the sight of her rough-and-tumble son with his mop of unruly, sable-colored hair and his stormy gray eyes.
Look what I made with Miss Lisa today.
Frank scooped the boy up in his good arm, regarding the sticky, slightly limp piece of art like it was the Mona Lisa.
Well, would you look at that,
he mused, his deep voice infused with the appropriate amount of awe to bolster a 3-year-old's ego.
Looks like you've got a burgeoning artist on your hands here, Shell.
Franklin pressed a tissue paper fish more firmly onto the construction paper with one stubby finger. The tangy aroma of Elmer's glue wafted from the soggy work of art.
In fact, her brother continued, this little man might just be the next Picasso.
Franklin's lips puckered.
No way! I'm not gonna be no pistachio! I'm gonna build motorcycles with you, Uncle Frank,
he declared hotly before squirming to be let down. Her brother deposited him on the floor, and Franklin trotted toward the living room, the conversation apparently having reached its conclusion in his brain until her brother said,
Well, you can do anything you want to do, kiddo. The sky's the limit.
Franklin turned back, blinking twice as if truly grasping the magnitude of this last statement. Then he swung around and raced away singing, on top of spaghetti, at the top of his lungs as the lights in his sneakers blinked happily.
You and Franklin should come back with me tonight,
Frank declared. Her stomach did another quick flip at the thought of actually coming face to face with Jake Sommers. She should have been ready to see him again. She should have been. She wasn't.
We're trying to take Becky's mind off what happened yesterday evening. She's still a little shaky,
he continued, and Michelle pushed aside her aversion to the thought of seeing Jake just enough to think, a little shaky? Becky Reichert had shot and killed a villainous, bloodthirsty man not more than 24 hours ago, and she was only a little shaky?
Rock says he's gonna grill up some steaks and brats, and it's such a beautiful evening for a barbecue.
There he went again with that loony grin. It was almost eerie, like Attack of the Pod People eerie.
Come on,
he cajoled when her face filled with mutiny.
With Snake back and Rock finally home, it'll be like old times.
You mean the kind of old times that made you hide me away from your co-workers at Black Knights, Inc. for the past 3.5 years? After everything that had happened in Coronado, after the horror of it, her brother had thought it better to keep her separate from that part of his life, the government operator part of it. He thought he was protecting her by keeping her a secret from his employees at Black Knights, Inc., protecting her from more fear and heartbreak. And maybe he was right. But she'd become sick and tired of being a peripheral figure in his world. So she'd shown up at the hospital after his shoulder surgery and introduced herself to all the knights who'd been waiting for him to come out of recovery. Oopsie, my cover's blown. Aw, shucks.
Well, the jig is up anyway, thanks to you.
He scowled and feigned punching her in the shoulder.
So you might as well come out to the shop and see what I've been up to.
I've got to